Alright, man, we back. 5230 podcast, the man from Jersey. My co-host,
Swag.
So we're sticking with the top 5 worst trades. Every NBA franchise. We're running through all 30 teams. All 30 teams. Next up, the next victim on the list, the Boston Celtics. The 17-time world or is it 18? 18, 17. But even the Celtics aren't safe from their fair share of bad trades. We're going to run through 5 and 1 honorable mention because that's just my thing. Every single episode I'm going to give an honorable mention.
Okay.
Let's start this off. So the honorable mention for the worst Celtics trades, 1975. Boston Celtics, trade Paul Westphal, who ended up becoming like an NBA coach later on, and 2 second-round picks to the Phoenix Suns for Charlie Scott. Now, if you don't know these names, I don't blame you, man. This is 1975. You know, we weren't even born yet.
Yeah.
Little backstory. Right after the Celtics trade Paul Westphal, he goes on to average 20 points per game over the next 5 seasons.
What was he averaging before? Yeah?
He was like 16, 18, around there.
All right.
Even after leaving the Celtics, 5 All-Star games.
Damn.
Yeah, so he traded a 5-time All-Star. And I think he made them all literally after he got traded from Boston. Celtics get back Charlie Scott. Plays 2.5 seasons for the Celtics. This dude, Charlie Scott, honestly, he wasn't that bad. But he wasn't that bad until he got traded to the Celtics. When he got traded to the Celtics, he started declining. He made a couple All-Star games, but this was all before he went to Boston. When he went to Boston, he kind of... So the trajectory, like this Paul Westphal dude, he goes up. This Charlie Scott dude just goes down.
But they also gave up picks, you said?
2 second-rounders. Now look, this is 1975, so I don't know what those became.
Yeah.
I had to be like an FBI dude to know what these picks became. Like I had to be on the web searching for like every single year what did that pick
because they
become.
might have traded the trade. They might have traded the pick and all that.
That trade, we won't spend too much time on it because that's basically what it was. Literally, Paul Westphal, 2 second-round picks for Charlie Scott. But yeah, Celtics you basically just traded a 5-time All-Star, 20-point scorer. Next up, number 5, we got 2018.
What trade was that?
Boston Celtics trade Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, and the Nets' unprotected 2018 first-round pick to Cleveland for Kyrie Irving. This one, you could say something. It looks like you're thinking about it. Because you could say
the bad trade?
Yeah.
Because wasn't that like they let go of IT and then IT sucked?
I view it like this. Kyrie plays 2 seasons for the Celtics, right? 2018 playoffs. He missed the entire thing. He was out the entire 2018 playoffs for them.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Something about his leg, something like that. 2019, they make it to the second round, they lose in 5. That offseason, he leaves them. That's the Kyrie Irving era in Boston.
Well, you're right, yeah. That's not a lot of games played, and you gave up a pick.
2 seasons. And you remember, like, the whole Kyrie Irving thing? He became, like, a distraction to the team. Yeah. I don't know if that was more so the media or if it was an actual thing. And then I remember when he did the thing, he addressed the Boston crowd, and he said, if you guys will have me, I plan on, you know how Kyrie talks, if you guys will have me, I plan on resigning here. And then when the Celtics weren't playing as high as people thought they would, a reporter asked him the question again, and he said, ask me in June, or like ask me in July.
Oh, man.
So people, the media's going to run with that. They're saying, man, you're really doing a 180 from saying, I'm definitely going to re-sign with you guys to, I don't know, man, ask me in the summer or
He's jumping around, yeah.
So, and that was during the season. That was how the season was going on. So, that could go with the whole distraction thing.
Yeah.
And they were saying there was some team chemistry issues. And, the proof's in the pudding. Did you know the second year Kyrie was on the Celtics, did you know, with all that talent, with the Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Gordon Hayward. Because remember, Hayward only missed the 17-18. 18-19, he was back already. Yeah. All that talent, Marcus Smart, Marcus Morris. You know how many games they won?
I think it was like close to 50, no?
It's 49.
Ah!
So 49-33.
Yeah.
That was a team that people had high expectations for,
right?
Yeah,
man. The thing was, I remember that season, they were like, we don't even need Kyrie.
Yeah. They were saying Terry Rozier. He's playing almost as good.
And they were saying Tatum had to progress because Kyrie wasn't there. Like it helped him out.
Mm-hmm. So I take those things into consideration, right? The Cavaliers got, we know IT fell off quick. He fell off quick. And partly that's why Boston got rid of him. Maybe they saw that ahead and like we said, Trade him right at the right time. You know, don't wait too long. Don't pull a Knicks with Carmelo.
That seemed like it was a good trade for them.
And then Jay Crowder, he went to Cleveland. I feel like Jay Crowder, he's still respectable, but for some reason I don't know if it was Brad Stevens making him look good, but in Boston it just seemed like he was kind of he shined like a little brighter over there. No one really talks about him right now in Utah. I think he's on Utah, right? Nobody who talks about him. Who says Jay Crowder?
Nobody.
But there was a point in time where it was like Jay Crowder, he's a legit trade piece. Mm-hmm. You can put him. He hustles. He plays D. He shoots threes. Mm-hmm. You know, Ante Zizic. What more do we say?
Yeah.
So that 2018 first rounder, that's honestly why I put this, because we got to take into consideration they traded this before the 18-19 season started, right? That was the Nets unprotected. It ended up becoming the number 8 pick, right? But like, you never know, man. Like the Nets weren't a good team. That the Nets could have easily still been like a 3.
Do you know what that pick was?
Colin Sexton. But look, when you look at that draft too, 2018, you know who got picked 11th in that draft?
No.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, and that's the guy from OKC, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player, right?
Yeah, you can always find those players like in the later picks that surprise everybody.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not only just that, man. Like I said, the Nets, I feel like they over exceeded expectations that 18-19 season. Like I said, that was almost like playing with fire. You could have easily kept that pick. That was 18-19 draft. Mind you, that was the DeAndre Ayton. That was the Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
That was the Trae Young draft. So, obviously that became number 8. We know what that became.
Yeah, but if you're saying, like it could have been a number 4.
Yeah, and we know what happened.
3 or whatever.
We know what happened with Kyrie Irving. It didn't work in Boston. And you gave up that highly coveted first pick, you know, and I feel like in the end you might have gotten the worst thing you could have out of it, because you got 2 years of Kyrie Irving, barely any playoff success, and he left. You know?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they could have had.
Remember all those
like Shea.
No, but even remember all those like trade possibilities. Because remember when Danny Ainge had all those first round picks?
Yeah.
They were saying all these possibilities. They could put him for a Paul George trade. They could put him for this trade. They were saying all these superstars, disgruntled superstars that Boston can get. Offer that Nets pick. Offer that Nets pick. Offer that. That's all you heard, right?
Yeah.
Nets pick. And in the end, it's almost like you kind of chose the worst of the possibilities.
No, you're right. Yeah,
you went for Kyrie. It didn't work.
They could have gotten something better.
You don't blame them either, because you think about, they had the two guard locked up, Jaylen Brown. They had the 3 with Hayward, 4 with Tatum, and then the 5 with Al Horford. So they went after a point guard. So you can't blame Boston, but I'm just going off of how we know things worked out. It didn't work out with the Kyrie Irving trade, and I just feel like with that valuable trade chip they had, that first pick, maybe they could have got something better, man, honestly. What if they would have got Paul George or something, you know? Maybe it works out a little differently.
Or they could have flipped that for more picks or something.
More picks, right?
Instead of going for Kyrie, and then even now, man, Kyrie's still injured.
So that pick right there. If you're watching this, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if people disagree with that. Like I'm saying, these are my picks. You know, these are my picks. But I honestly think, with that coveted Nets pick, because nobody knew that was going to turn into an 8. That could have. People were still thinking the Nets were going to be like sorry, because mind you, 2017 draft number 1 pick came from the Nets. From 17 to 18-19, the Nets didn't really make that many changes to their roster for someone to be like, oh, okay, they're not going to finish with like the worst record or the second worst. They're going to finish with the 8th worst record. So, hey, it is what it is. Let's move on from that one, because that's just number 5. Number 4, we got 2002. Celtics trade ISO Joe Johnson, Randy Brown, Milt Palacio, and a 2002 first-round pick, which in their defense became Casey Jacobson.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah. Yeah, we
I don't remember who that guy is.
Yeah, we don't remember who Casey Jacobson was. They traded all that to Phoenix for Rodney Rogers and Tony Delk.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right, so let's run through this, right? I think they had Joe Johnson for, I want to say like 40. This was his rookie season. Joe Johnson was drafted 01.
Yo, I didn't even. That's crazy. I don't remember. He played for the Celtics.
He played for the Celtics, yeah, but barely. He played like 40 games.
That's probably why I don't remember.
And running through this video, this is honestly going to become a trend where the Celtics, you'll see as I get to the later picks, they give up on these rookies way too early, and then they end up becoming something later on in their career. So this is the first case of that with Joe Johnson. I think he plays like 40, maybe 50 games. They get rid of him. They want to become more competitive.
What season
was it? 01-02 season. So that was the season they made the conference finals against New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we know what happens with Joe Johnson, right? We run through the players of this trade, right? Joe Johnson. Did you know Joe Johnson ended up becoming a 7-time All-Star?
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you know like it was like 7?
No. I just knew he probably had like 4 or 5.
Hey, man, you thought like he made a couple All-Star games. He made 7.
Damn.
7 All-Star games over his career. Averaged 20 points or more in 5 separate seasons during his career. 20 points scored on 5 separate occasions. We run as far as what they got, the Celtics. Rodney Rogers, you know how many games he played for the Celtics?
I feel like he played like maybe 2 years.
No, this is 01-02.
How many games he played that season?
In general for Boston, after this trade.
It sounds like he didn't play that many.
You're almost letting me down. Remember, Rodney Rogers became a net.
Yeah, it sounds like he got traded.
Rodney Rogers plays 27 games for the Boston Celtics.
And then what?
Averaged 10.7 points, 4.8 rebounds per game. They play New Jersey, remember? Eastern Conference Finals. They lose to the Nets in 6.
Yeah.
That offseason, Rodney Rogers signs with the Nets.
That's how it went down?
He just signed with them.
Oh, wow. So he just lost him.
Yeah, Boston didn't trade him to the Nets. He just signed with us.
Wow.
And that low key, like, you know how people talk about the like the Kevin Durant, you lose to him. Obviously, Rodney Rogers is not as good as Kevin Durant, but that was almost like a little.
Yeah.
Celtics lose to the Nets.
You can't beat him, you join him.
And Rodney Rogers is like, I'm out. I'm gonna go join the Nets.
But no one's gonna get crazy about that.
No, because Rodney Rogers, man. It's Rodney Rogers. So they gave up their 2002 first round pick. It became number 22, right? Became this dude named Casey Jacobson, who's a draft bust. But these are some names that were taken past number 22.
There we go.
Tayshaun Prince, number 23.
Yo, that guy, man. I feel like he's like one of those guys that you're just like, if you get a specialist, because he was pretty much defense.
Yeah.
Tayshaun Prince was pretty much all defense.
Yeah, I mean, he could score a little bit, but I don't know if that was really his thing in Detroit. I don't know if they asked for him to score.
But you get some of those real good specialist guys, man.
But he's just that guy you got on your team, and you're like, all right. It's early in his career. Once he went to Memphis and stuff, he became washed. But for his first like 8 seasons, he was good.
Yeah.
Tayshaun was good. He had that chase down block on Reggie Miller. He was good. Yeah. Tayshaun was good. Put a little respect on it. Reggie. Number 35, Carlos Boozer.
Boozer was 35?
Yeah, he was 35. He was 2nd round pick.
He's a solid player, man. I wonder why he dropped so much.
I don't know, man.
Was he injured or something?
I have no clue, bro. And number 56, this guy might not be a household name, but I remember him being good, was Luis Scola. Remember Luis Scola?
That guy was solid, man. He was energy.
He was a solid little guy.
He
had his little hair.
He reminded me of a Nahara.
Oh, my God.
But he's better. Like, I thought Scola was better.
He could score. Scola could put the ball in the rim.
I thought Scola was better, but he had that Nahara feel that he was, like, never going to be the main guy. But he's
solid role player, man.
He's just going to be there.
Solid role player.
He's going to hustle, get you those rebounds, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
so those are just 3 names that were taken past 22, which is what that Celtics pick began. So really think about it. Look, they gave up Joe Johnson, Randy Brown, and Mil Palacio, like I always say. Those are just casualty names. They don't matter. It was Joe Johnson and a first-round pick for Rodney Rogers and Tony Delk. Like I said, Rodney Rogers plays 27 games for the Celtics. Leaves that offseason.
Yeah.
Next player up is Tony Delk. Tony Delk plays 2 seasons for the Celtics. On average, if you take how much he averaged those 2 seasons and, divide it, averages out to 8.5 points per game over 2 seasons.
Yeah, it sounds pretty bad now.
And in 2003, he gets traded to the Dallas Mavericks.
Sounds like a really bad trade.
Yeah, you gave up on ISO Joe through like 50 games, and you gave up a first-round pick, and 27 games with Rodney Rogers, 2 seasons of underperforming Tony Delk.
And that was when Paul Pierce was still in the squad.
Mm-hmm. Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker.
Yo, that was a squad.
Imagine in a world where they hold on to ISO Joe, and then they're a smart drafting team, and they take Carlos Boozer. And now you have Antoine Walker, Carlos Boozer, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce.
That's a scary squad.
Yeah. Instead, they... So, look, this is where the segue comes, right? I said Tony Delk, right? 8.5 points per game, 2 seasons. He gets traded to Dallas. Mm-hmm. This segues to my next trade. 2003. Boston trades Antoine Walker, Tony Delk to the Mavericks for Rafe LaFrentz, Yeri Welsh.
I don't know who that is.
Great.
I know who Rafe LaFrentz is.
Yeah, and oh my God, Rafe LaFrentz he was terrible, yo.
Yeah, he was bad, but I know who he is.
Rafe LaFrentz, Yeri Welsh, Chris Mills, and Dallas's 2004 first-round pick, which in their defense kind of salvages the trade a little bit, becomes Delonte West. So it helps a little bit helps often. Just a little bit.
Walker.
Just a little bit.
And he goes to the Mavs and keeps doing the shimmy.
So like I said, so Tony Delk is in this trade. So they traded Tony Delk, thus making the Joe Johnson trade officially pointless.
But you gave up
Joe Johnson, man, and a first round pick.
And a first round pick.
So
yeah, that's it, dude. That trade was really bad.
So Antoine Walker, I'll be honest with you, Antoine Walker, let some people tell it, and he was like a really good player. People will say that. He made, I think, 3 All-Star games in the early 2000s. But I honestly think the opposite. I think Antoine Walker is honestly kind of overrated.
Okay.
If you go look at his statistics, his shooting percentages,
yeah,
it was pretty bad, man.
All right.
Even in the 02-03 season, right? He averaged 20 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 4.8 assists, right?
It looks good.
It looks good. But he shot like 39% field goal, like 31% from 3, and like 61% from the free throw line.
61?
61. He was always a bad free throw shooter.
God damn.
And the 4.8 assists looked good, but he was averaging like 3 turnovers a game.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he was doing that. These numbers, you know how many minutes he was playing to average this?
It's like 40.
40.
40, baby. I'm on fire this episode.
So look, this trade is honestly, to me, it's not bad because of Antoine Walker. Like I said, I honestly think he's overrated. Really, if you're watching this video right now, pause it and go look at Antoine Walker's shooting percentages these seasons he was putting up these numbers. Look at his turnovers, his efficiency, how many minutes he was playing. And you'll see that it's not really as good as, 20 points, 7.2 rebounds, 4.8 assists. Definitely a great player. All-star. Maybe because the East was weak. But in my opinion, he was a little overrated. Why I think this trade honestly was bad, bro, was because of the Rafe LaFrentz factor.
Because he was so bad?
Did you know that when the Celtics acquired him, he still had 6 years left on a 7-year, $69 million contract?
What?
That was given to him by Dallas. Rafe LaFrentz.
Dallas signed him to a 7-year deal?
7-year, $69 million deal. And he still had 6 years left on it when he came to Boston.
Yo, Mark Cuban was the GM by that time. That's a great... Yo, he got rid of one of the worst contracts.
Yeah, he did. Cuban, they made some bad decisions, but they managed to get out of them. But even the Celtics did that too, honestly, because they made some bad decisions and they ended up getting out of them. Which is why these Celtics trades, to me, they're honestly not as bad as the other teams, but they're still a little bad.
How did they get at? Are you gonna segue how they get out of Rafe LaFrentz?
They didn't really all the way kind of get out of Rafe LaFrentz, but I did my research. They traded, I think it was 2006. They drafted Randy Foye. Oh,
I remember Randy.
Look, this is not a selection for worst trade, but I'm just gonna say it real quick. the Celtics select Randy Foye. I think it was 6th or 7th. They couple him with Rafe LaFrentz and ship him to Portland for Theo Radcliffe, who just keeps getting name drops in these, and Sebastian Telfair.
So Celtics get Telfair now.
Yeah, but let's focus on this trade. This is the one I actually chose. So the Celtics just acquired Rafe LaFrentz, right? Mm-hmm. For Antoine Walker, Tony Delk, all this good stuff, right? The season before they make this trade, Rafe averages 9.3 points, 4.8 rebounds in 69 games for Dallas. Those aren't great numbers, right?
He's getting paid like almost $11 million or something. 10 million.
So let's think about what 10
million in the beginning of the century was a lot.
Yeah, let's think about what Boston just got. They just got 9 points, 5 rebounds, Rafe LaFrentz, Yeri Welsh, Chris Mills, and an 04 pick. They got that for Antoine Walker. Tony Delk. Like I said, Twan to me is overrated. But in this day and age, I feel like teams legit thought he had value. And I just feel like Boston could have got more for Antoine Walker than Rafe LaFrentz.
Yeah, they got a really bad contract.
Yeah, they got out of it, but I feel like that's honestly why they had to trade Randy Foye. Was kind of like take Randy Foye, but just get us out of this Ray for Friends contract.
Yeah,
I feel like it's not written, but I feel like that's why it might have been.
That's most likely it, man. You don't want to keep that guy on your contract.
So since we run through these trades, right? So in the end, did it become Antoine Walker, Tony Delk for Sebastian Telfair, Theo Ratliff, Yuri Welsh, Chris Mills, and a pick? That's terrible, yo. That is a terrible haul. Celtics, you guys made the 0-2 conference finals with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker as your 1-2. And you disrespected Antoine Walker by trading him for Rafe LaFrance.
That's a bad contract.
And you know what was even worse is that you guys got him back like 18 months later. Twan, I'm talking about. And then traded him again. Disrespectful. But you know what? That's history. Second pick. 1999.
This is the second worst, like on your rank?
No, it's just kind of like they're not in the rank. They're not in the rank. But 1999 Boston Celtics trade Andrew DeClercq and a 1999 first round pick to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Vitaly Potapenko.
Vitaly, I know him. Potapenko.
I remember him from NBA Live 2000.
Yeah. He was just always there.
Vitaly plays 3.5 seasons for Boston. Peaks at 10.8 points per game. And that was in the final 33 games of the season he got traded to Boston. The other 2 seasons, the 3 full seasons he played for them, even worse.
What was the pick?
Alright, so the pick became number 8.
What year?
1999. It was literally they traded the pick for the upcoming draft. This trade happened 99 and they traded their 99 first.
Okay.
It goes to Cleveland. Cleveland selects Andre Miller, number 8.
Andre Miller was a good player.
Yeah, with that Celtics pick. So Andre Miller's a good player in his own right?
Yeah.
So now you know what we got to do, man. Let's run through some players that were picked afterward, right? We got Sean Marion, number 9.
It's a good player.
We got Jason Terry, number 10.
It's a really good player.
We got Ron Artest, number 16.
He was a good player.
We got Andre Kirilenko, number 24.
Really good player.
We got Manu Ginobili, number 57.
Legendary player.
And like I said, and we have Andre Miller and Bray. So they traded out of the 99 draft for Vitaly Potapenko.
Who gave him like 10 points a year.
No, he gave him 10.8 because he got traded, I think, like around January, February 99. So the final 33 games of that season he was traded to them, he averaged 10.8. But then after that, he played 3 full seasons, and it was like 6 points, 8 points, 4 points.
Damn, sub 10?
Yeah. Woo. Not good at all, man. So
that's terrible.
You could have had Sean Marion, you could have had Jason Terry.
Andre Miller.
Yeah, you could have Ron Artest. You could have any of these guys. This was 1999, so you guys already had Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker.
Yeah, Andre Miller would have been a good point guard.
And he got Vitaly Potapenko.
Damn.
Celtics. You guys are a storied franchise, but even you guys aren't safe from bad trades.
Do you know who the GM was then?
No, I don't know that.
Look. So that was for 99, right?
Yeah.
This dude named Chris Wallace. Then after that, in 2003, it becomes Danny Ainge. Till now.
Chris Wallace, wasn't he like the dude who did the friggin' Pau Gasol trade? Was he in Memphis later on? Do you know?
Let me look it up. He replaced Jerry West.
That was a mistake.
For the 2007 to 2008 season.
I think he did the Pau Gasol
trade.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he had Mike Conley.
He did the Pau Gasol trade.
Yeah, Wallace was heavily criticized for trading away the Grizzlies' 27-year-old franchise player, Pau Gasol, to the LA Lakers on February 1st, 2008.
So this dude sucks, man.
Like last week we had
Babcock.
Mike Babcock.
No, Pete.
We had Pete Babcock as like this guy who just trades Dominic Wilkins.
So this dude trades trades out of the 99 draft for Vitaly Potapenko, and then later on trades Pau Gasol to the Lakers.
Yeah, he's messing up.
Not very good, man. So in 2002, Vitaly Potapenko's time with Boston comes to an end.
Well, like just like his contract ends?
No, he gets traded with Kenny Anderson to Seattle for Shammond Williams and a washed-up Vin Baker.
I don't know who these guys are.
You don't know Vin Baker?
I don't know who the first one was.
Okay. Well, so that lets you know that the trades are bad, man.
Yeah.
These aren't household names. These aren't guys who made any impact. We're very much competent people at this time. 2002, I was 10 years old. You were 11 years old. We remember some of these names. We don't remember Shammond Williams, though.
I don't remember the Williams guy.
So run through it, man. So it's basically like Boston traded out of the 99 draft for... It's basically like they traded Andrew DeClercq, Kenny Anderson, and out of the 99 draft for Shammond Williams and Vin Baker. That's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, so 99 draft, first selection, Elton
Brand, Steve Francis was in there.
Yeah.
But I went with what was chosen after number 8.
Yeah.
Or number 8, which is what their pick became.
So then what happened after that?
That was basically it, man.
Oh, those are the top 5?
Oh, no. Okay, so now we're going to get to number 1. So remember I told you earlier that Boston has a little bit of a history with trading these rookies before they develop. They give up on them quick. This was during the Pitino era, if I'm not mistaken. And remember, this is not...
What, Celtics coach Pitino?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he has some GM duties. I'm not so sure. But Celtics fans, you know that this is known as the Pitino era. If you're watching, this is known as the Pitino era, right?
Pitino was 97 to 01 as a president.
Okay. This trade was 1998.
Yeah, so 97 to 01, yeah.
So 1998, the Boston Celtics trade. And you're going to be like, what? I didn't know he played for them either. Boston Celtics trade Chauncey Billups and D. Brown to the Toronto Raptors for Kenny Anderson, Popeye Jones, and Zan Tabak.
Chauncey Billups. That was when he was a rookie.
Yeah.
Damn, and then he becomes a champion.
So look, this is what I'm saying. These trades kind of interweb. So think about the names I just said right now. Celtics trade Chauncey Billups for Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, and then the Kenny Anderson was for...
They traded Vitaly Potapenko and Kenny Anderson in 2002 for Shammond Williams and Vin Baker. So did you trade Chauncey Billups and your first pick in 1999 for Shammond Williams and Vin Baker?
Damn, that's... Yeah. When you link them up, man, those are just... That's like when you're just trying to save it so bad, you just keep making even worse decisions.
Horrible, man. So guys, if you follow basketball, then you know what's up, man. You know what's up. Chauncey Billups goes on to become a 5-time All-Star, 04 Finals MVP. I didn't know this, man. I didn't know Chauncey was good on defense like this. He made 2 All-Defensive second teams throughout his career. Let's look at Kenny Anderson.
Even has a nickname.
Mr. Big Shot.
Once you have a nickname, I think it's...
He hit that shot against the Nets that, like, it still pisses me off. We still won that game. Lost the series, we won the game. But every time I see that shot, I don't want to see it anymore. Chauncey Billups, that half-court shot, man, that hurt me. Kenny Anderson plays 4 seasons with the Celtics. Peaks at 14 points, 5.1 assists. And that season, Celtics won 35 games. So his best season statistically, Celtics only win 35 games. That was his peak. Popeye Jones and Zan Tabak. You can't make this up. They literally each one played 18 games each. One played 18 and the other... You can't make that up.
What?
They each played 18 games.
Damn,
and each one pretty much averaged the exact same numbers. 3 points, 3 rebounds per game.
Damn, so they could have had Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups. Antoine Walker. Carlos Boozer.
These are just names that they could have had them. Not all on the same team, but people that they gave up on or just missed out on because they were trying to chase God knows what. This trash that we just presented. Vitaly Potapenko's, Rodney Rogers, Tony Delks, Rafe LaFrancis. Oh my God. I don't even want to.
Yeah, man.
Terrible names, bro.
Yeah.
But these are the 5 with one honorable mention worst trades in Celtics history.